Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. For today, I want to discuss 12 side hustles that you can do. Start right now with very little to no money and you can start making money. Okay, so let's go. The first thing automatically that comes to mind is tutoring. This is something I personally have experience in. I started probably about 5 years ago. I don't do as much of it now, but back then, especially when I was on maternity leave from my first child, I did it. And I also know a few people who do it. One of my very good friends, it was something she did for 2 to 3 years as a full-time source of income. And trust me, she earned well. She was earning, the equivalent of a sort of average annual salary because she was able to build up a good handful of students. And she was very good at what she does. Or what she did. Yeah, what she does. But now she's gone into teaching. But yeah, tutoring is fantastic. It's a fantastic opportunity, particularly for students or graduates. It's great. You've just graduated from so-and-so. You have the knowledge and the experience. Pass it on to someone else. There's a student out there who could do with an extra tutoring. Maybe because he or she is not getting what they want from the place of education. So let's say you've just completed your first degree, or you're looking to go into to do your master's or a research degree. Tutoring is also a great way to stay in the loop and even keep yourself updated in your particular subject. Well, I found that to be the case when I was tutoring. I tutored different things. I tutored primary school age, from math, science to English across the board. And I also did, I tutored undergraduate and postgraduate students in law, different sectors in law. And I found that, as you tutor, as I was tutoring the law students, I was actually learning myself as well. There's things that you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Or, oh, I never realized. Because things change, especially in a sector like law, things change. So, if you are a student looking to, go on to do a postgrad, it's also a good way to keep you in the loop and keep yourself up to date. You're also studying while tutoring, sorry. So yeah, and when I first started, I was charging £25 per hour, and then with time, I increased it gradually. I know people who are charging £50 plus, so it's not crazy, trust me. Education is key, and it's just you're paying 9,000 plus year for university fees. Why should tutoring be any less? So yeah, and a lot of the times some people even end up getting more out of tutoring than they do at school. So it's a very big market. And if you are, oh, mind you, it doesn't even have to be a graduate or someone who's gone to university. If you are an expert in your field or you have many years of experience in your sector, share that knowledge as well. Okay, share that knowledge. You don't have to be someone with a degree. Okay, what's really hot right now within the tutoring sector is the entrance examinations. So the likes of 11 plus and 7 plus. Parents and the students are paying money because they really want to get into these grammar schools. It's what's trendy right now. It's what looks good on the children's CV for their future. So parents are paying a fortune for it. So if you're someone who maybe you've gone to grammar school yourself, or you've done the entrance examinations, or you've just learned it and you know what is required, and you have experience of a student successfully gaining admission into a grammar school due to your tutoring, go for it. One of the ways I first started was I placed an ad on Gumtree. At the time it was £7.99. I think the fee has gone up slightly, but it's still under £10. And I remember putting up the ad, and within hours of the same day, I received an email inquiry from a student. So, it's definitely worth it. And there are also other websites that you can sign up to, websites that already sort of attain certain visitors on a daily basis who are looking for tutors. So that includes the likes of Superprof, Tutor Hunt. These websites in particular, they don't charge you, they're free. However, they get a certain commission out of every booking you make. And they will require you to showcase your certificate or proof of qualification or experience. So bear that in mind. Whereas with Gumtree, of course, you pay a small fee to join. However, you retain all the you retain everything you make from that. When I started, I had the tutees come to my home. If there were children, the parents would come with them, just because I had a young child, and to be honest, I just wanted them to come to my home because I was more comfortable at home as opposed to going and traveling. If you are willing to travel, make sure, some people include an extra £5-10 as an additional travel cost. But if you are happy to do it in your home, don't be shy to make that as an offer. So you can either have them come to you or you go to them. If not, there's always a mutual point, such as a local library. Libraries are a great place for, you will go, trust me, I'm sure many of you have gone to libraries and you see, maybe a child with an adult that looks like a student and a tutor. It happens. If not, let's say, if not, it can even be in the case of, let's say, a local cafe. So wherever you can find that you think you are able to work with, go for it. Whatever form of beauty service you're able to offer, just create an Instagram account, create a Twitter page, or whatever form of social media you feel like would be best to utilize the promotion of your services. And Gumtree, honestly, is also brilliant. For such a small fee, you could put up an ad and start getting inquiries immediately. Aside from tutoring, one of my other side hustle was and is doing hair. That was something I did as well, particularly when I had more time on my hands. At one point I had several ads on Gumtree for different services. I would never forget the first day, when I placed my ad for hairstyling service, I did it at night time, and I remember within an hour I received an email. So it could work for you as well. You have to realize more and more people are getting tired of going to the hair salon and waiting for hours before they're even seen, or they'll get started in their hair, such as, relax their hair or wash it and then make them sit an extra few hours before even touching the hair. So, a lot of people don't want to spend hours or the whole day in the hair salon, so they'll rather have, book someone on a one-to-one basis, and then knowing that, okay, it's going to take me 4 hours, 3 hours, I can get here at this time and leave at this time. And some occasions it could even be cheaper. So figure out what what you're able to do. Do you do braids, weave? You can even specialize. For example, if you do hair, you don't have to do everything. Maybe you just do braids, or maybe you just do wigs, whatever it is you're good at. And if you're not, start practicing, and get better. But yeah, there's always someone out there who is looking for some sort of services, whether because they can't do it themselves or just because they can't be bothered. Okay. So number 3, the fashion industry. So, are you good at sewing? Are you a tailor or a designer? Did you study fashion? Or maybe you didn't, or you just know how to sew, or maybe it was passed down from generations. I don't know. If you're just creative like that and you're good at doing things like that, offer your service. I've paid money over the years, several times, to, have a material and get it sewn and made into a dress or a skirt or a top that I like for, for different events. So, if you don't have a sewing machine, well, this one would require a little bit of investment. Go out there and get yourself some sewing machines and some kits and tools and things like that, and start making things. People love customized and personalized things, from gifts to even clothing. So you'd be surprised. Or it doesn't even have to be a case of someone bringing material in and you making the dress of the dream or whatever. It could be a case of, I've just purchased a dress, but for some reason it doesn't fit. Maybe because I put on weight, or you've lost a bit of weight, so you need a bit taken out, or you need a bit added because you really, really want that dress. Go to someone like that, So if you are someone who is able to offer that service, what are you waiting for? Just start, honestly. And that is a great source of income, because the times I've gone, to get like a dress made, I've paid roughly about the price that you'd purchase a full outfit for, let's say like £80 for a full dress, or £30-40 for a skirt. So that's a good, it's a good income. And if you're not someone that particularly likes the face-to-face interactions with customers, this is also low-key a good business, because, after the consultation stage where they come to you with what they want, they then go off and you are, in your own space to do your magic. And then once it's completed, they come back and they try it on. So get started. So number 4, the health sector slash care. And by care, I mean like childcare, more like. So, if you're, let's say, a therapist or a counselor, you're, qualified and experienced, freelance. Mental health is such a big topic, right now. And it's something that's always been a big topic, but never, received as much sort of limelight. It's never received as much discussion as it is currently, which is a great thing. And aside from that, there are people who want someone to talk to. They want a third party to talk to, someone who doesn't particularly know them. And you can get therapy and counseling in different aspects of your life. It doesn't always have to do with your mental state. It could be to do with your relationships. It could have to do with your parenthood for whatever reason. Now, some people just like having someone to discuss, to talk to, and just let off all their stress and just let it off. So if you are a qualified therapist or counselor, start your own, start a little freelance on the side and start making some extra money. Don't worry about space, because I know that's the first thing that comes to mind, but I don't have the space. You can offer to go to your client's home. If not, find, like again with the tutoring, find a mutual space, So once you have a booking for a client with a customer, why don't you book a space? You can book offices, you can book an office space to use, or whatever it is, whatever you have near you or near your client, book a space and go for it. Similar to that is childcare. Maybe you have experience working in a nursery, or you have some sort of teaching or educational background or childcare background. Go into this. It's a good side hustle. Kids are born every second. Literally, babies are born every second. And with this day and age, parents are having to work, moms are having to work. So it's not easy. And that support is always and will forever be needed, because not a lot of people live around families or relatives or friends. So, the extra hand is always needed. So if you're good with kids, or you enjoy, looking after other people's kids, or it's a passion of yours, an interest of yours, why don't you make it a source of income as well? So advertise on Gumtree. It sounds like I'm promoting Gumtree, but I'm not. Okay, it's just such an underrated site. It really is. And it's an underrated tool for being self-employed or doing freelance side hustling gigs to earn yourself extra money. Childcare, it's good if you have a space in your home, that's, suitable for such. Print out little flyers and leaflets. Go on Vistaprint. They offer really good deals. So print yourself some flyers. Find a name for, your childcare minding business. Or if not that, you maybe want to start smaller as a babysitter. Whatever it is, just get yourself out there. Print out the flyers, the leaflets. Get it out there. Gumtree, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. Or word of mouth. Okay? Whichever way you can get it out there. Or even maybe local schools and, connections through local schools. Okay? What I would say is, of course, all these things I mentioned, just make sure you are registered to the right bodies, such as, Ofsted in this case. And the same thing applies to licenses. If there's any sort of license you need to get, like public liability insurance, do make sure you get it where applicable. Okay? So, moving on, a handy person. Okay? Handyman or a handy woman. You're good at putting IKEA or Argos wardrobes together, chest of drawers. Offer your services. Like, I would target new builds. So if you live in a particular area where that there's a new build development not too far from you, local from you, offer your services there. Because think about it, someone's moving to a new build. There's a bunch of work to be done. They've ordered a bunch of furnitures and equipment. They need someone to put it up for them, and they need someone to put it together for them. So if you are good at that, do a little, print out your advertising materials as well, leaflets, flyers, whatever it is, and post it through the letterbox. Go around the development and put it through letterboxes. If there is, local newspaper in the area, as this is particularly good for those that live on the outskirts of London as well. So places like Kent and Essex and wherever else, because I know London's very busy, it gets competitive, blah, blah. But it's really good. Just go around the developments and post it through the letterboxes and offer your services, you know. Things like, I'm just trying to think, even with us moving into our new when we moved into our new house 2 years ago, well, just under 2 years ago, we paid for so many things, you know, even something, even small things such as, you know, someone to mount your TV on the wall, someone to put, to fit a chest of drawers for you, someone to put up a bed for you, whatever it is. And think about it, a lot of these people that have just paid a fortune for their, you know, for their new homes, they, you know, they want everything to be done perfectly and everything to be done right. Okay, so don't just sit there and think, oh, I can do that, I can put that together. Make money from it, even if it's £10 per hour, whatever you want to charge, you know. Even like things like cutting the grass, oh my gosh, yeah, we've paid a few times for people to, you know, it's a living, trust me. It's, for some people, this is a full-time earning. You know, you can become self-employed and making a good monthly income from just using your skills. You know, things you do, things that you yourself as individuals do within your own homes, offer that service to other people. That even brings me into something like cleaning services. There are so many people who are either too busy or are lazy or whatever reason. They want someone to come into their homes, just, you know, to clean for them. Maybe it's to vacuum, to do some ironing, do some laundry, to wipe the windows, to wipe the doors, whatever it is. Cleaning services, that's another good one. Moving on, we have virtual assistant. So virtual assistant is almost essentially a personal assistant. It's just virtual, you know, which means you're not necessarily there physically. A lot of the roles for virtual assistants are mainly sort of administrative tasks or personal tasks. So the administrative side could be maybe doing bookings, such as holiday bookings, and managing emails and the social media sites. And the personal ones could be things like the post office runs, you know. So virtual assistant is also another good one. There are loads of small businesses or, you know, startup companies who often are looking for virtual assistant. So if you've got a few hours to spare, maybe during the week or the weekend, whatever it is, put yourself out there as a virtual assistant. I don't know, put it somewhere, have it up somewhere on your LinkedIn account. You could also go on some of these search engine boards, such as Reed, Indeed, Monster, CV Library, and search for any sort of virtual assistant roles that may be on there. That aside, what I've also noticed is that a lot of small businesses and startup companies, they tend to sort of advertise their job vacancies on websites like Gumtree, only because, you know, they're not in a financial position to sort of pay thousands of pounds to a recruitment agency to place these job adverts for them on some of these job boards that I've just mentioned. So it's much cheaper for them to go on Gumtree and pay about £40-50 to place an ad. So also look on Gumtree and search for some virtual or general work from home roles that might be available. And trust me, there are a few. Moving on. Event planner, decorator. Are you good at things like this? Do you know, are you often on Pinterest? Or, you know, do you have an eye for, you know, decorating? Or do you have the creativity for planning an event? If so, do it. You know, there's always, people love to party. People love to have a reason to party or put on an event or do something. You know, we have birthdays, we have baby showers, we have graduation parties. You know, so many reasons for people to throw events and parties. And a lot of the times they're looking for people to just deal with the work for them, to just do all the work because they can't be bothered. They just want to worry about what they're wearing, or maybe things like the food and their drinks. They have other things to worry about. So they just want someone, you know, to do everything for them. I want to tell you what I want, what color scheme I want, what theme I want, and you bring it to life. Tell me your price. I'll tell you my budget and we'll meet in the middle, blah, de, blah. Okay? So event planning is a great one. I remember planning a baby shower for one of my friends, and the decorator, I planned it, you know, I was a little event planner then, but the decorator that I used, I actually found her on Gumtree. And yeah, so listen, Gumtree is my go-to place. So I think you should also make it your go-to place. At least give it a go. So I remember finding her on Gumtree just because, you know, it just makes more sense to me as opposed to just typing on Google and then all these companies come up and then their prices are ridiculous. I just go on Gumtree, find someone, you know, a sole trader or someone who's just a freelancer as opposed to going through a company and paying an extortion of a price. So yeah, event planning and decorating. Okay. So next one is, it ties in with the events as well. So that's a photographer or a videographer. You've got a camera. It's quite an expensive one. It's a professional one. Don't let it just sit there. Make use of it. Let that camera make you money. Okay? The same thing. People love taking pictures. I mean, nowadays, the phones are really good. They're quite good. The camera quality is quite good. I'm not going to lie. But nonetheless, at a baby shower, at a birthday party, at weddings, you know, at most events that we go to, there's always a photographer and videographer there. So start practicing, get that camera out, start going out, you know, whatever you have to do to perfect your craft, and start offering your services. Put yourself out there. Okay, Instagram is great for this because we're talking about visuals, we're talking about pictures, and we're talking about video clips. Gather your brothers and your sisters, your parents, your relatives, your friends. Start taking pictures of everyone in order to build up your portfolio, okay? And photographers and videographers earn hundreds and thousands. You know, the price difference between a birthday and a wedding is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's like they can give you a quote for a birthday party and say, oh yeah, that would be £300 for 6 hours, da, da, da. And then when you say wedding, oh yeah, that's 2,000. It's just, you're just thinking, well, what? It's the same hour, but because, you know, but I don't fault them, you know, that's their business. So make it your business. If you do have the equipment, or you have, you know, you have access to the equipment, go for it. And especially if it's something that you enjoy doing or something you're quite good at, go for it, okay? So the next one, I'm not sure what number this is, but yeah, dog walking or school pickups, right? Loads of people have pets. Loads of people have dogs, honestly. And someone's got to walk the dogs. The same with kids, you know, a lot of parents, you know, with parents working so much, in most cases, they're unable to maybe do the school runs and they just need someone to pick up their kid from school so that they're not having to maybe go to extra after school clubs or things of that nature. Maybe they just get home just, you know, just before 5 or after 5 p.m. and they can't, you know, get to school at 3 p.m. and they just need someone to pick up the kid, drop them at home. So that also ties in with the, you know, the likes of childcare, obviously. And the same applies for dog walking. You've got your arms, make use of it, okay? And you can charge anywhere from a sort of national hourly rate or more. You know, it's just all of these things. You can come up with a good couple £100 to 1,000 plus every month, okay? So I think this is number 10, surveys. And I know some of you are going, ugh. But those surveys send you spam emails. It just doesn't get you any money. Well, you're not going to get rich from doing surveys, let's be honest. But we're always on our phones doing what? Nothing that's making us money, right? I have a particularly good survey website that I've used, and I still do occasionally, but I just can't be bothered most of the time. But nonetheless, I've made money from this in the past. It's a website called YouGov. So YOUGOV. And so the way it works is that website is particularly targeted at political topics in the UK and the world surrounding. So if you are obviously interested in things like politics as well, it's also good because it kind of keeps you up to date. And I think it's a really good platform just to keep yourself up to date with, you know, political matters. With this, I believe, I'm going to confirm and put it up here, but I believe you have to get 5,000 points and then you're rewarded with £50 into your bank account. I have gotten the £50 a couple of times. So it works and it's not spammy. You can control how many emails, how often you receive emails, And the emails are not spam emails or anything sort of annoying. The emails would be survey emails. So they'll send you an email of a survey that's available that you fit the criteria to sort of take. And you can choose how frequent you receive these survey emails, because obviously the more you receive, the more the quicker you are to get to that 5,000 point mark and then get your £50. So yeah, who doesn't want a £50? If you're able to do tons of surveys a month, then maybe you can get yourself decent £50 every month here and there for just being on your phone doing what So yeah, so aside from that, at the moment I'm not too sure of much survey websites out there that are as good as this one, because a lot of the other survey sites tend to require you to maybe purchase something and then you get paid for it, or so yeah, no to that. No. So yeah, number 11, drop shipping. I know a lot of you have probably heard of this, even if you don't know about it particularly, but you know of it. I do believe that this is quite a hefty topic, and maybe perhaps if you guys are interested, I can do a separate video on this, because dropshipping is something that I do myself. I am new to it. I'm about 2-3 months in, so maybe I can share my journey as a newbie. But in this case, I'm referring particularly to eBay dropshipping. Not Spotify dropshipping, but eBay dropshipping, which is easier to start and it's practically free in comparison to Shopify, where you have to pay for the membership, you have to pay for the website, or whatever else you have to pay for on Shopify. This is free, especially if you already have an eBay account that's long standing, that's good standing, just, and the art of this is pretty much to buy something from a wholesaler and then put it up on your eBay account and mark up the price. So a good marketplace is AliExpress. And don't worry, eBay actually supports dropshipping as long as it's the art of buying something from a manufacturer and then reselling it on and marking up the price. So it's different from buying something locally and then I think eBay might be slightly against that. But if you are buying something from a marketplace and upping the price, eBay's totally for that. So yeah, AliExpress, let's say you find, do you know what's really good to sell on that? Okay. It's really good selling fake designer handbags, honestly. So find yourself an AliExpress handbag, maybe that's a fake Chanel or something like that. You're not lying about it because clearly the price reflects that it's fake, but you'd be so surprised how many people are into like fake branded stuff. So yeah, find yourself a fake Chanel, and maybe you purchase it for like $20. I don't know what that equivalent's, maybe like 16-17 pounds, and then you put it up on eBay and mark it up and sell it for like £40. It will sell. Okay, it will sell, I promise you. And even by the time you deduct eBay's fee, you're still left with a healthy amount of profit. So imagine selling, 10 of those every few days, And on eBay, you can also list as much products as you want. But bear in mind, there will be a fee on eBay's end for the products you list. But yeah, eBay dropshipping, I'll definitely do a separate video on that. But it's a good way of making money. You can, once again, you can make a couple of hundreds to 1,000 plus every month, because everyone shops, so, and as long as you're just make sure that you focus on good customer reviews and things of that nature. Okay, so lastly we have just IT. To all the IT heads out there, you're probably in the best position to make extra side income, honestly. Or if you're just generally someone that's creative. So, IT is still a sector that a lot of people are confused about and unsure of. And a lot of, people are happy to pay for such services like graphic designers or illustrators, things like that. So, if you are good at that, or like website designing, branding, logo, things of that nature. Like, we live in such a creative world. So if you fall into that category, put yourself out there. Honestly, put yourself out there. You're good at making logos. You're good at making, creating and building websites. And you understand all that sort of IT jargon. Like, Two websites that obviously come to mind. The first one is Fiverr. Everyone, knows of Fiverr. But I actually have another website that I prefer to Fiverr. It's called People Per Hour. And on this site, it's also free to join, I believe. And create your account and, put your services up there. They get paid through, they get paid once you get bookings. So they get paid a certain commission from your bookings. But yeah, there's loads of services on there. So aside from the IT and creative sector, even if you're someone who likes to write, there are people on there who are looking for writers. If you're good at marketing, there are people out there who are looking for someone to sort of manage their websites or social media page or whatever it is. If you can think of anything sort of virtual assistant related as well, the two websites, People Per Hour and Fiverr, those sites are really good. The same thing with eBay. Just anywhere where you can get yourself noticed online. Just put yourself out there. And of course, in putting yourself out there, you have to make sure you have, you have work to show for it and work to back it up. So you can't just tell me you do this and that. I need to see the history. I need to see your proof. So start working on that. And one of the ways in gaining sort of, like I said earlier, building up your portfolio, quote unquote, is to initially maybe offer free services. So guys, I hope this has been quite helpful. So 12 side hustles that you can do on the side in order to make yourself extra income. In some of these examples, honestly, it could even end up being your full-time income. Let's say you're a student or you're a carer, whether you're caring for a parent or a relative or for your own kids, and you're not particularly ready to go into full-time employment. Get into one of these 12 side hustles, okay? And if I can gather another few, I will definitely come back with another video on it. But thank you so much for staying with me through this. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.